joining.
Hi, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Yeah, so we'll continue from here. That is module 15, SQL injections. So before we start SQL injections, I would like to tell you that first we must understand what is SQL, and then we can start with the injection part, because SQL is something that usually for those who have an idea about it, because it comes under some language like a programming language, but you must have this knowledge, otherwise SQL injection is a bit difficult. But I can tell you like how exactly um, the hackers they try to, because most of the websites have databases. Every website will have a database. uh, if you really want to know if the websites will have a database or not, suppose this is the website. So what you can do is you can just simply click on this vaporizer, and this vaporizer it detects that there is a database called as MySQL. So let us understand this MySQL first, and then we can get started with the practicals. See, MySQL is an open source relational database management systems, RDMS. So MySQL is just a relational database management system. Basically, a database means where username and passwords and everything will be stored. So in any websites, every websites must and should they'll have a MySQL databases will be installed. So what exactly they do is they will have a list like this usernames, passwords, or it can be anything. They will have a complete list on it. So websites using MySQL. So there are so many. See, the famous one WordPress. Even WordPress, they maximum use MySQLs, and there are these are the some of the list of MySQL is required. And so even today, about 80 to 90% of companies do prefer MySQL only to store the databases. So some of the alternatives of MySQLs are Firebase. Firebase is actually from the Google, and MariaDB and Redis. We have PostgreSQLs and MongoDB. So these are some of them. Very few companies will use this, but not every companies. So usually they prefer only MySQL databases, because it is very easy to manage, and learning SQL is also very easy. Anyone can learn within just 1 month of class would be really sufficient to learn MySQL, is because it is like an English language. Okay, it's a structured query language, and it is look like English. So it is very easy to learn this language also. So for those who have mastered this skill, that is MySQL, can only able to perform SQL injections. So SQL injection is an art of bypassing. You can even literally say that you can bypass a login dashboard. You can bypass directly login dashboard. For example, we have this login page without typing any username or password. If you enter this system, say, let me just log out. If you just log in directly without typing any username or password, then you also learned how to do it by capturing session hijacking. So that means someone has to be there, first log in with the correct information, then only you can able to hijack. But this is something that you can able to bypass this page without any session hijacking, without doing anything. So usually what hackers will do is they'll try to bypass this. They will try to bypass this page by injecting some queries called as SQL injection. So they'll just type something and immediately it will bypass the login page. I'll show you on this as well as on, there is one more test file. I will do it on the both. See, we have this sign in page. So we can directly bypass this without typing any username or password, without even capturing any sessions. We can able to bypass this page. So if you are if you have a very good knowledge in SQL, you can able to bypass. So before bypass, let us understand what exactly is MySQL and how does it work. So we can learn SQL language tutorials point. Yeah, W3 school is good to learn some languages. See, there are so many things: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL, Python, Java. Lot many things are here, so you can learn this. Okay, so now let us get started with our class. So SQL injection, see, not SQL injection, SQL only. First SQL and then injection part. SQL is a standard language for storing, manipulating, and retrieving data in databases. Our SQL tutorials, okay, this is going to teach us MySQL, SQL Server. There are so many other things. So now let us see an example. With our online SQL editor, you can edit the SQL statements and click on the button to view the results. So I'm going to click on try it yourself. So one thing we have to understand is, see, these are all the tables, table names and records. Every websites will have a table names and records, the databases. So for example, here they have some of the database names called as customers, categories, employees, select order details, orders, products. There are so many things, and these are all the record consists of. So now what you can do is you can type a statement called this select. Star means everything. Okay, select everything from the database. So what is the database name? So basically there is a database name called as customers. So they have just mentioned that select all means all rows and columns from customers. So for all they are using this star icon. Now I'm going to click on run SQL, see what happens. See, all the records of the database name called as customers as reflected here. Now in the place of customers, let me select all from we have employees. I'm going to type EMPLOYEES, employees. So now how many data? There is only 10 data. It will select them all. See, 10 data as reflected here. So this is how it is, and we can see that this is employee ID, this is their last name, first name, date of birth, photo, and some notes. Okay, so this is how SQL actually works. So we have to type some commands. So based on this, sorry, not commands, they're statements. Based on the statements only, you get your results. So you can even say like select star from employees, then it will give you all the data of an employee. So now let us go and check one few more. Let us just go to next page. What exactly is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and SQL lets you to access and manipulate the databases. See, you can also manipulate the databases, and SQL becomes a standard of American National Institute, okay, ANSI, National Standards Institutes in 1986, and the International Organizations of Standard. So it has been recognized even ISO as well as ANSI in 1987. What exactly you can do with the SQL? See, SQL can execute queries against a database. SQL can retrieve the database from a database. SQL can insert records. If you want, you can even insert some records also. SQL can update. SQL can delete. SQL can create new database. SQL can create new tables. SQL can create stored procedures in databases, and also SQL can create views in database. SQL can set permissions on database procedures and view. SQL is a standard, okay? SQL is a standard, but all through SQL is ANSI and ISO standards. There are different version of SQL languages that you have to know. However, to be compliant with ANSI standard, they all support at least major commands called as select, update, delete, insert, where. So in the here we have UC. There are few commands which are very similar. Select, update, delete, insert, where. See the same thing are here. We use select. Okay, using SQL in your website. So how are you going to use your SQL in for a website? To build a website that shows data from the database, you will need an RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, database program, that is MS Access, SQL Server or MySQL. To use a server-side scripting language like PHP or ASP.NET we have, right? To use SQL to get the data you want, and to use HTML or CSS to style your page. So these are all the things that it is required for you to build a website. Now RDBMS, I told you, Relational Database Management System, is a basis for SQL and for all the modern databases such as MS SQL Server, IBM Database 2 and Oracle, and then you have MySQL, or also some people will also pronounce it as for SQL, CQL. Some people will also pronounce this as CQL. So it's MySQL, what we pronounce in India. And the data in RDMS is stored in the databases called as tables. A table, see, very important. A table is a collection of related data entries and it consists of everything. Okay. So we just tried selects are from customers. Let us go with another one. So when you type this select star from customers, it will give you customer ID, customer name, and everything. See, some of the most important SQL commands are select. It will extract the data from the database. Update. It will update the database. Then we have delete. It will delete the database. Insert into it. It will insert a new database. You know, new data into a database. Create a database. It creates a new database. So most of them looks very, the commands looks like normal English. You want to delete, you just simply type delete. It's like that. So now there is one more. Select customer name, city from customers. So if you type this thing, what happens? If you type select customer name, city from customers. So now I'm going to remove the star. Say I'm going to remove this star, and I will mention, instead of typing all, star means all, I'm going to type select only customer ID, customer name and contact name. CUSTOMER, customer ID, and I'm going to type again customer name, and then I'll type contact number. I want all the customers this one contact number, contact name. So I want customer IDs in serial number and customer name, and I want contact name, customer name and no, we don't want, we'll just go with the city. Okay, instead of, yeah, we'll also type, okay, only these three things. Now what happens is this address, city, postal code, country will be vanished. I'm gonna simply run. Okay, no value given for a parameter. Okay, I think there is some errors. I have just mentioned that from employees. So in employees there is no tables given, so it was given in customers database. Now I'll change this to customers, and I'm going to click on run. See, it will only give you customer ID, customer name. Now I don't want customer ID, then I'll simply remove this customer ID and run. See, it gives you customer name and contact name. So whenever you type these queries, it basically executes. Okay, so what hackers will do is they type all these commands, they type even more bigger commands to extract the database in a website. So if the database contains our username and password, credit card details, address, so obviously database consists all about it. So attacker, what he does is he'll just try to inject such queries in a URL or something like that, and he extracts the data. So now let us jump directly on SQL injections. So for SQL injections, we do have some payloads like cross scripting. SQL injections payload. Go to the first link. See, how does this work? In this section, we'll explain what SQL injection is and describe some common example and explain how to find and exploit various kind of SQL injection vulnerabilities and summarize how to prevent SQL injection. What is SQL injection? See, SQL injection, that we understood only SQL, now injection. SQL injection is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to interfere with a query that an application makes to its database. It generally allows an attacker to view the data that they are not normally able to retrieve. This might include the data belonging to other users or any other data that is application that the application itself the access the okay able to access. In many cases an attacker can also modify or delete this data. Okay, permanent damage, we can even do that. In some situations an attacker can escalate an SQL injection attack, compromise the underlying server and the other backend infrastructure. So he is just simply typing, see this is attacker, and there is some username and password field, and and behind this there is a database, all usernames and passwords. It will check both of them are matching. If it is matching, it will give him directly, but he will also try to execute some queries like union. He's going to select union means everything. Select username and password from users. When he types like this, then it will immediately give him the username and passwords from the database called as users. We're going to do this practicals now. Just a second please. Yeah, we'll start. So now we're gonna start this because since you have no idea about how to type these commands and all, you can even directly do with payloads if you have no idea, because we perform cross-site scripting. But for cross-site scripting, you must know the language JavaScript to perform. Since we have no idea, so we use some automatic tool called as XSS Strike, and we were able to do this attack. So today what we're gonna do is, instead of using such attacks, we are gonna instead of typing manually, we will just use some automatic tools so that it will only do for us. There are so many SQL injections, many SQLs, but we'll just straight away go to the C. These are all the payloads. We have most commonly, you can see everywhere 1 is equal to 1, or 1 is equal to 1. So we have so many payloads. See, union, select, all select, he's going to select each and every command. But anyway, there are so many things we can type one by one, and we can able to bypass. See, SQL authentication bypass payload means you can bypass this, what do you say, this username and password. See, how does it work? Let me open some Excel and show you. So this is our Excel, and I'll tell you how does it work. So think like there is a database. There is a database, and they will have ID and username, oh, and password. Okay, we will have something like this, and then ID number will be 1 2 3 4 generally, and username will be same test and password will be test, something like that. Okay, but what happens, then there is comes SQL, that is true or false statement, true or false. Now ID is fine, so user and password. So when a customer types a username as a test, okay, that means username is true and password as some incorrect password, then it is false, right? So what happens is here, if the username is correct, then 1. If the password is wrong, then 0. So what will be the results? Obviously, it will give error. Login login will be error because username is correct but password is wrong. What if the username is wrong and password is correct? Still it gives you no value. If username is correct and password is also correct, then it gives a value called true. Then it will give you login page. What if the username is wrong and password is also wrong? Then obviously it won't allow you to log in. So this is true or false one. Based on this only SQL works. So in the place of, what if I directly in the place of username I'll type 1 equals to 1, then what happens? Then immediately that means username is also correct, password is also correct. So we are executing the queries directly by typing 1 is to 1. So 1 is to 1 means username is also correct, password is also correct, get me my account. Simple as that. It will directly show you. But we are going to perform this attack. One is manual, the other one we're going to perform as with payloads. Okay. Yeah. Now we're going to bypass this authentication. See, I'll show you how does this how can we bypass, everything. I'll show you how does it done. So I think you understand the simple format. But SQL will be a bit difficult is because you must know the language, right? Otherwise, it's okay. But we have automatic tools. You don't need to worry. That is why in the beginning only we'll tell them like no need of languages because we have some automatic tools. So what we can do is now we have this, okay? We have this login page and all. And usually I always type with username and passwords and then we log in. But this time we're gonna do it with different. 1 second. Yeah. So now we are not going to type username nor we are going to type the password. We will directly mention that 1 is equal to 1 is true directly like this. 1 is equal to 1 true. That means username is also correct, password is also correct like that. But see what happens. How can we bypass this? So we have so many when we go to this payloads, right? And it works in most of the websites also. It works in most of the websites. See, we have so many, what do you say? We have this authentication bypass, correct? But to use one by one, it will take whole day. See, we have to use this statement. These are all the statements. I'm gonna just simply type here, yeah, I'm gonna simply type 1 is equal to 1 and try to log in. It says invalid password. So we have to copy paste everything, okay? We have to copy paste everything. But if any one works, then without typing any user and see this is sign in, it will be sign off. See now also it shows invalid. And we have admin, okay. 1 is equal to 1 means admin account user, what is that, username is also correct and password is also correct. We have to log in like this, but any one will work and it is not that easy also to perform such attacks. And it will be a bit difficult to log in one by one. And since I'm aware of these things, I'm already aware of I know how does this work and all of that. I'm already aware of this, so I can even execute direct queries. I can even try direct queries. Some of the famous queries are you can directly type, you can use the same thing. I can even directly type or 1 equals 1. That means username is also correct, password is also correct, and then some statements. So if I just simply type this, see what happens. It will log into my account directly. But for those who know this SQL language, then only they can understand what exactly I just typed. See, I'll simply click on login. It still says username, okay, is wrong. So let me try to give some space over here and login. It still shows that it is wrong. Okay, it will still show us it is wrong. So what am I gonna do is I'll just try to copy both. Okay, I'll try to copy both and put it into the password field like this, and now click on login. See, this is how it log in. But I didn't type any username. See, even the password also I simply copy pasted the same thing. That means I executed a direct query that username is also correct and password is also correct. Then immediately it gave me an administrator account. Now it shows sign off because we have already logged into our account and then we can just go ahead. But if I try the same thing on this page, okay, I'm gonna try the same thing on this page on both the queries. See what happens. See, here also it works. Got it. So here also it works. And it is not like I have to try only that. I can even simply copy paste from here. See, we have this administration account. I can even copy this username one. And here I'll just go login again. I'm gonna type this on both the fields and try to log in. Now it is not working with a different one. See, but very few will work. Not everything will work. Got it. And I have this one more administrator accounts. I'm gonna type this here and I'm gonna paste the same thing here. Administrator account where username is also correct and password is also correct, and click on login. See, it works directly. So and you won't believe this method works on most of the websites. Now also most of the website we can still be able to do all these things. Most of the website is still works. It is not like it won't work. Most of the website it is still working because based on skills, but some people are already aware, so they try to see, they try to do something like they might do something for this SQL so that they'll protect it, because who is the responsible for this? The developer is the responsible because of weak code, so only he knows how to protect all of these things. Okay, this is how you can able to bypass this account directly without anything, without knowing anything. We can able to bypass this authentication by just typing some commands. One sec. And you can also use bob suit, and you can also use many things. Okay, you can also use many things, but the only thing is you must you must be aware of all some languages, and there are so many other things. You must be aware of it, else it will be very difficult for you to perform these attacks. But there are so many, and there are some softwares also where you can do it directly. If you don't know how to use these commands, I know because I know this language. I learned this language many years before. So because I even know how to create a database and so many things, so that is why it was very easy for me to perform. So maybe for you it will be a bit difficult because this is the very first time maybe you might be seeing. So what you can do is you can directly use some tools. Okay, you can extract some you have some tools also here. Let me show you. Sudo su, I'm gonna be root first. I have tried many times. I have, tried many times on all this, but it is still working. It's still working. I have tried many times on this. but let me just give you again. So there is a tool called as SQL map. Okay, there is a tool called as SQL map. Yeah, this is an SQL map which is already built in your site. So first you must type man space SQL map so that it will open a manual. See, SQL map, automatic SQL injection tool, and it is still working, and now also it is working. The software is up to date, receiving updates every month. We are receiving the updates also. Some security patches has been happening, so everything is good. So you can type -h command to get help, and -u for URL. So you have to find a URL, target URL like this, which comes with an extension called as equals one, something like that. You have to find this, and then if you want to get the data, -data. If you want to, one second, yeah, you can even type dbms. So this will force the backend dbms to provide some values. So this is what the first command we have to use, that will check at least if there is any database in the backend or not. And we will be using some commands called as passwords. It will enumerate the database user password hashes. -dbs, basically it will enumerate the database management system databases. Tables will enumerate the table names, columns. Look at this, we have so many commands. To master this tool also it will take a lot of time. So I'm gonna and if you want to, if you know the table name, then you can directly type -t. If you don't know, you have to type tables like that. I'm gonna press quit. So now we have to find a URL. One second, I think my system is not responding. So to find that, I have to find equals one. Okay, that means where there is a database. See, I have categories. If I go to categories, there are so many names here. I can click on this paintings. If I click on this paintings, I can see that some category 2. Now if I change this value to 3, see there is something painting called as a thing, right? Now the thing will change. See, okay, there is nothing. I'm gonna change it to 1. See, in 1, the shore, the mystery, there are so many things. I want to click on this mystery. It shows peak number 2. If I mention peak number 1, this will change. So this is where some you can identify some loopholes in any websites. And now, and if there is any artist, you can click on this link also. It will show that this is the artist name and artist 1. You can change this artist 2 like this. That means there is a database. That's why it's working. And now I'll copy this entire link. This is automatic method, okay, without typing anything. It's automatic method. Now I will type SQL map space -u for the URL. Now I'm gonna simply paste this URL. This will give you whether there is any database or not. It is starting. See, okay, it is started testing connection with the target, and connection was successful. And it shows that information is available. The backend dbms is mysql. So now that we understand the backend database is mysql, and all whatever the logs that we are typing, everything is saving in some folder. Okay, so now we understood that there is a database, but we want database name, so we can type -db. Yes, if you type dbs means it will give you the database name. Okay, this is automatic procedure. We have to wait. See, it is given that fetching the database name. There are two databases names are available. Now we got the database name, correct? We're gonna type the same command. Now that we have the database, you can directly type -d space, mention the database name. And what do you want to do with the database name? If I type -dump, it will dump everything. But I don't want to dump. I want to see this database tables so that I can enumerate accordingly. Now we're going to do enumerations, tables names. We don't know what is a table name, so we can type -tables and click enter. See, these are all the tables. There are 8 tables in this website, and users, product, pictures, guest book, and there are so many. Now, I'm gonna type one more command. Now we know the table name, so you can type only -t. And if we are telling the SQL map, go to this URL. There is a database name called as this, and there is a table name called as users. Kindly download everything. Simple. Dump. If I dump if I click, if I type this, it will dump the content of users for us. And it is asking, do you want to store any hashes? I don't want to store, because if you try it on a big websites, make sure to give yes for everything, but I don't want to crack anything, so I'm simply giving no. See here, it has given there is only one entry. There is only one entry. CC means credit card. This is the credit card number, this is the card, there is some hashes, and password is test, and email is email@email.com, and phone number, this is the phone number, and username is also test, and name is some Aryan, and 21 street. Okay, now what we're gonna do is, now that we know the username and password, we can directly log in normally, because that's what we do, right? We can now normally log in, and inside whatever the data it is showing, it will be matching the same thing. See, same thing, it will be there. This is how it works. But there were some other tables also, right? We're gonna see -t. Let us dump another one. These are the tables. Let us dump products. Products -dum dump. See, it has given the product name, what ID, price, name, rewrite name, and description. So this is how hackers basically they get all the informations about a website. If it is a weak website, there are some chances like you can download the entire database in your system. So this is an automatic tool. This is automatic tool. If you want to do manually, then you must learn the entire SQL language. And to learn SQL, I recommend you to go simply, you can go to w3school.com, and here only you can learn. See, they are given, I was using OR statement, right? So the SQL OR operator, the where calls. So basically you can type selects all from customers where country name is Germany or a country name is Spain. Then it will only give you the customers names that are from Germany or Spain. So I was using OR statement for everything, because what if the user name is not admin and it is something else? So that's why I was using OR operator. So there are so many, see, select operators, or operators, and many things are there. So it will take you a lot of time, but if you want to learn, you can learn. So that, but usually automatic sites nobody prefers. For the one who knows how this works, they always try to go with the manual SQL injections. So for this, you must know the SQL language. If you have no idea, you can use this automatic tool to perform this. I hope you understand, and it is very small topic. SQL injection. Actually, it comes under the web application topic itself. And next, tomorrow, we have this hacking wireless networks. So for wireless network, make sure that you have the tool with you. I'm gonna use tomorrow, that is AC600. I'll show you. 1 second. Yeah, so tomorrow I will be using this tool called the same AC600 TP link. Yeah, I'll be using this tool. So you can also buy them most of the websites. Okay, you can buy from Reliance Digital at just 1000, and from Amazon it is 1200. So I'll be using not this one, sorry. Let me show you. Yeah, this one. It's just 1000, yeah, 1200. So I will be using this tool, and this tool works pretty good for Wi-Fi hacking and all. So we can use
They're
this
including
tool.
Bluetooth hacking.
Sorry.
Bluetooth hacking is also there, right?
Yes, we can use this one. Yeah. This works on both 5 guards as well as 2.4, and it got a good range also. And they have also, but I just went and checked in the, yeah, here it's working pretty good, and I can see that many people have used for packet injections also, and Kali Linux is also mentioned, so that means it's pretty work. Brought it for Kali Linux monitor and everything, see, so it's working. Even I purchased it only for that, so it's good. You can use it, and tomorrow for this I will be using this tool. You can also buy a cheaper price at 600 also, but you have to check whether it supports or not, and then you can go ahead. And if you want the most expensive one, if you don't want an expensive one but you want the mid one, then I'll recommend you to go with Panda Wi-Fi adapter. Yeah, no, okay, this is also expensive now, but yeah, this will also work. 7001. This is what some hackers will use, like 8001, and then I think this one you can get it at just 4000, maybe in between. And this is widely used. Many people, they will only use this for the sake of that. I had this, I given it to one student, he never returned it. This one, this is pretty good. I have purchased twice this one, and it works great. But the most powerful is this is the one. This is the most powerful one, and I own this also. We have up to 30,000, but it depends on your budget and everything. So this alpha, this is also good, but I'll recommend you to simply, if you don't want, and only just for the sake of Wi-Fi, just go, don't go with that. So you can go with the simple one for testing purpose. That's it. If you don't have, then you can just simply see how does it work and how can we compromise. But without tools we cannot do anything. We cannot do anything. That's the main thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, I have
So
some
there are,
question.
yeah, yes please.
Yes, sir. What if or Tor browser or SQL
Sorry.
injection? So, what if we use VPN or Tor browser while testing that HTML? And so, last class you told me AC console will block our IP address, right, sir?
Is console.
If we do such things like HTML injection or
Yeah.
IC console will block our IP, right, sir?
Yes, of course.
What if we use VPN Tor browser?
They will block.
No,
Oh,
proxy
can
chain
they trace
IP.
us? So you're asking me like, can they trace us, right?
Yes, sir.
No, if you use Tor browser, they can't trace. If you're using some VPNs, then they can immediately trace you. If you're using Tor browser, then you'll be safe. If you use some third-party VPNs like NordVPN or CyberGhost, ExpressVPN, we have so many VPN service providers. If you use them, then immediately they'll give you your logs. They'll tell this guy is from this place and this is his name, this is the payment details, everything they'll give. So that is the main problem with that. So I recommend you can, if you go with Tor browser, then every second your IP address will be changing, so it is safe, but it will be too slow. If you go with some VPNs, within if they if if easy console really want your data, then easily they can get it. They will simply contact the service provider and they'll ask for your details and they have to give. But no, you can go with Tor browser, it is safe, but not with some VPNs.
Okay, so there are two types of IP address, right? So static and dynamic.
See, static and dynamic. Dynamic means which is automatically your router will provide an IP address,
Yes.
192.168 one dot some number. But in my laptop, I'm using static IP address because there are so many resources that I'm sharing in my own office. I'll show you. There is no nothing to do with static and IP. Both does the same job. See, I'm using static IP address from way long time. Yeah, see, this is my static IP address. That is 212. If I give automatic, then instead of 212, it will provide some other IP address, whichever is available. That's it. There is nothing to do with static or dynamic IP address. It is the same thing. Does the
Okay,
same job.
Okay. Okay. Then,
Yeah. Is there any other doubts?
yeah, sir. Sir, may I know the full syllabus of cyber security, sir? I think.
Full syllabus of cybersecurity.
I mean, just
Uh, okay, one sec. Let me show you. This is it. This A plus, N plus, MCSA comes, but we don't have this VMware because this document is pretty old one. And RHCE, then a basics like the setup, Kali Linux and para deployment. I mean, all the softwares and installations. This is the beginning one. But once the installation is finished, then you have first module, that is introduction to ethical hacking, same topics. But you have 19 till 19 only. Because 20 instead of IoT, they have given this anonymity and privacy. How hackers live this life on the internet, like anonymous browsing and Tor network, anonymous posting and email service. So this is the main module. These are all the sub modules. So that means this is one class, 1.5 hour, maybe 1 hour of class. It might go up to 1.5 hour of class. This one, and then this is case study, pen testing and case study. This is like self study. We can do it ourselves. And then CNC server and ransomware attack is again a case study. Like we use Meterpreter to interact with the target. That is CNC server. This both of them are just self study, like where students will come up with their own case studies. They'll just do some penetration testing case studies, and each and everybody will discuss in the class about their own research on a particular company. And it is the instructor responsibilities to just to tell them like, okay, this is I mean, explain them in brief about their own research. This is a student has to do. If it is classroom, then we can perform this pen testing and case studies. And then at last we have one more module called as defense side operation, what required to become a cybersecurity. So this is full theory class where tool deployments and configurations, including EDRs, theory, SIM tools, SOC operations, how live patch management and security patch management works, and what is automatic patch management, and a little bit of antivirus, servers, firewalls, IDS, IPS understanding, and monitoring techniques. So this is about a SOC, and this is also one topic. This is cybersecurity. That's it. Till here only we have.
okay.
After 19 modules, only two classes, that is anonymity and privacy and defense side operations.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but this they are planning to implement this, but they haven't. Enterprise information security engineering course, they even thought of implementing. This is bit advanced. Same 19 models will be there, but after 19 models, they have included IoT hacking, hacking with Raspberry Pi, wireless network hacking with Raspberry Pi, configuring Raspberry Pi for automated tasks, and anonymity and privacy. Again, they have one module. Same again they added, but they included digital forensics, understanding hard disk and file system, anti-forensic, and there are network forensics. After forensics, they have even included advanced web application hacking. But these are all individual topics, security testing, penetration testing, and introduction to web application, web stop 10, threat modeling, SQL injections, SQLI. This is bit difficult one. Authentication and authorization, process scripting. This is again 13 different module. How to write the report at last, and defense side operations. This is the same thing whatever we have it now. And after that, they have first line of defense, how to use FTDs, and then firepower updates, and then threat hunting, malware analysis. So this is like a I think 6 months big course, but they haven't implemented this yet. They just gave me so that I can modify and give it to them. But this was like it was more expensive. It goes more than 1.5 lakh, I guess. They haven't implemented this one, but this is just one they have. But they actually start from A plus and plus some classes, and then they go with the CH classes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Done.
All right. So if there is any doubts, kindly please let me know. And tomorrow we're gonna start Wi-Fi hacking. And Wi-Fi hacking, I'll be using this tool. There are two editions. This is bit powerful, 1601, and this is 1200, just 400 extra. But that is bit powerful, the first one. So I have this. This was actually provided by the company. I have this. So we'll be using this for Wi-Fi hacking in tomorrow's class. Okay.
Sure.
Till then, I'll see you. Okay. Tomorrow
Sure.
morning, I'll connect. By 8:10, we can start our class. See you. Bye.
Sir, sir,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, sir, sometimes I'm getting this error in Kali Linux, sir. ZSH permission denied. Even I try in
You can share
root.
me your screen and show. Can you show me? Or you can take a photo or something like that.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir, I will share.
Yeah. Or you can share the screen also. I'll help you out to fix it.
Okay, sir, I will share later, sir. Actually, it is not booting up. It will take some
It
time.
shows permission denied.
Yes, sir. ZSH.
Whenever the permission denied, just simply type sudo. Sudo
Yes,
space command.
I tried, sir, but again it will come
But no
the
problem.
same.
Whenever you get this, just send me a photo. I'll immediately check it and let you know.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow and have a nice day. Bye.